my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Feature here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting from a bit of an unusual place, no less than 500 feet from the Cooper River here in Pennsauken. It's the Clayton Clippers and the Haddon Township Hawks, but not from Haddon Township and not from Clayton. I don't see Dan Antonelli for miles, but we are here at Allison Field in Pennsauken at the home of the Bishop Eustace Crusaders, who have lended this field out to Haddon Township for their annual night game here under the lights here on this beautiful Friday night in Pennsauken. Between two pretty good teams here in the WJFL Royal Division that are still looking to get their footing early on in the season. Clayton started off their campaign with a 30-26 loss to Collingswood, which was an incredible game led by Caden Luby, who scored all 4 rushing touchdowns for Collingswood, and Demetrius Williams, who scored all 4 touchdowns for Clayton. And then they took care of Mastery Camden last week by a score of 47-7. So now things are coming to a head. Haddon Township didn't have a week 0 game. They played off against Gateway at home on Thursday, and they won by a score of 13-6, even though, I mean, look, Gateway, they lost their starting quarterback, Aiden Bender, with a torn ACL, so they had to work through that. Game almost went to overtime, at a game-winning touchdown in the final 2 minutes, won the game for Haddon Township, and now two teams that have had contentious wins and contentious losses are coming to a head tonight. And Clayton and Haddon Township, they are two very respectable clubs, but what do you think of this matchup tonight?
This is going to be a great one. Me and Dan are looking forward to it in a lot, and we are ready for Clayton and Haddon Township here in Pennsauken.
And it's certainly one to be said about Demetrius Williams, the fact that the running back, 500-plus rushing yards in his first 2 games. It's a great thing for these guys to have and a great tool in a rush-only offense. You don't need a guy like Ian Gannon or Gabriel Hill to pass the ball when all you got to do is do the handoff. He can break free, he finds his men in the backfield, and he goes deep for 20, 30-yard rushes, and it looks great. So we'll see what Clayton has in store tonight, but I imagine that both teams now having to settle down after their, week 1 performances, Clayton with a huge win, Haddon Township with a squeaky win. These guys are going to be going into this week 2 matchup with a little bit of different lines of thinking. And like we said, Haddon Township's offense is a little bit all over the place. There's a little bit of passing, there's a little bit of rushing, and Clayton's is all rushing. So I think especially tonight, if Clayton can show that a guy like Williams or anybody else in their secondary or in their backfield can break free, it might be a good night for Clayton. But Haddon Township has to show in the secondary and on the defensive line that they can defend the rush, because they're not going to have to do a lot of pass rushing. So that's really the main storyline.
Haddon Township's key to win is to stop the run, and Demetri Willis.
That's basically what it is. And we will take a quick break as Clayton's marching band doing a performance behind us. I'm Dan Wilkins here with David Cohen of Seneca High School. We are here at Bishop Eustace's high school field, Allison Field in Pennsauken, for a matchup between Clayton and Haddon Township. We've got kickoff in less than 10 minutes, and we'll be right back after this.
Westboro, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog Wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com.
There you go, Clayton and Haddon Township getting ready to fly here in Bishop Eustace's territory at Pennsauken. Both teams' captains are out at the 50 right now. And for the rest of this week on DWB, we do have a busy slate ahead for football. Saturday at 11 a.m., we've got the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd from Woodbury High again, one of our second of 4 games with the crew this year. And then along with that, on Thursday, September 19th, we've got a classic Thursday night matchup between the ACIT Redhawks and the Triton Mustangs. It is ACIT or Atlantic Tech's first year in the WJFL and their first year fielding a football team, period. So it'll be fun to see them play and fun to see what they have in store. They do have a head coach at the helm there that has over 500 career wins over at St. Joseph Hamilton. That coach being Paul Sacco, 358 wins in 41 years over at St. Joe's Hamilton. Now he's over at ACIT, and we'll be able to see how that works out. And then next Friday, September 20th, is going to be a matchup between the Audubon Green Wave and the Pennsville Eagles, a matchup between Camden County and Salem County. Should be fun, but we're getting ready to kick things off here between the Clippers and Hawks. Like we said, Clippers 1-1 on the campaign, suffered a very narrow Week 0 loss to Collingswood 30-26, in which all 8 touchdowns were scored by just 2 players, Caden Luby, Demetrius Williams, and then a 47-7 win over the new Mastery Camden program, or not necessarily all that new, but relatively new, and we're talking about Jersey high schools and, the program that we have. But we're just reconnecting in camera here. Just give us 1 second. Good thing is about having these new mics is that we don't have to worry too much about things getting lost in translation, but luckily we just have to surf a couple chords through and we'll be okay. As we said, next week is going to be ACIT in Triton and Audubon and Pennsville. Going to be a fun one. I'm Dan Wilkins here with David Cohen here in the visiting grandstands of Allison Field. We're here in Clipper Country tonight, and it's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. Haddon Township is going to kick this ball away to begin this ball game. Number 7, it's going to be sent away by number 70, Kyle Stevens, the sophomore offensive lineman, as the Clippers will receive this one with a slew of players back in the backfield for the Navy and Gold. Here we go, Haddon Township. And a low-hanging kick. This barely goes 10 yards, but now the ball is booted at the 45.
Dan, I think Haddon Township recovered that one.
That's very possible. Let's see here. And they will give it to Haddon Township, who just recovered their own kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, what a start to this Friday night game.
That's Group 1 for you right there. I mean, that is the quintessential Group 1 play. You kick off the ball game and you get yourself an offensive drive because of it. And Haddon Township coming off of a 13-6 win, mostly defense-fueled over Gateway. Gonna be fun to see these guys duke it out as Haddon Township takes over on offense after an incredible kickoff return on a ball that barely went 10 yards. Here's the handoff to the left side. Taken by number 2, Alcir High. Tackle made right around the line of scrimmage.
Just going back to that onside kick for a second, that just shows what can happen in high school football.
It's what happens in Group 1 football, too. I mean, these guys are playing an entirely different game. Like we said, Clayton, passing is an afterthought in the Clayton Clippers' mind. And that's exactly what we've got between these two teams is are two teams that don't really air it out too much, but they'll do it if they need to. High rolls out to the right. And will still stay on his feet. He'll be down around the 37. And this will be a gain of about 6 or 7 yards. Might be a little more than that, but it will be 3rd and short for the Hawks as they'll regroup here and look to reconnect, gain a new set of downs. Ball will be spotted at the 36. Third and short here, trips formation for the Hawks. Here comes a line drive pass, caught, still on his feet, shakes off a couple of defenders. That one taken in by Elgin Baylor. No, I don't think there's any relation to the former Laker, but that is a first down for the Hawks. That definitely threw me off for a second. Elgin Baylor, the 5'11", 165 freshman, class of 28 for Haddon Township. Haddon Township last year 3-7 in the WJFL Classic Division before the realignment. Suffered a loss on Thanksgiving to my alma mater, Audubon, but started off the season 1-4 with losses to Gateway, Princeton, Florence, and Kingsburg. 3 of those 4 games being shutouts, and then a 12-6 win over the 1-9 Palmyra Panthers. Here comes a handoff to the right side. Sweeping way out is Derek Hudson. And finally, whistles are blown, but he's going to stay inside, so the whistles will remain, and the clock will remain strong. Haddon Township salvaged 2 late-season wins in October over Holy Cross Prep and Wildwood in an unusual 20-2 score, and then finished off the season with 3 losses to Cherry Hill East, Pittman, and Audubon. But now that the divisions have been realigned, Haddon Township got sent to the Royal Division, This is their second of 4 scheduled home games this year. Yes, this is technically a home game for Haddon Township, considering that Clayton is wearing white. Handoff over the middle. Haddon Township still inching that ball further and further, although that one was a bigger gain than most. And they will move the chains for a Township first down. I mean, Haddon Township doesn't have to do too much here. They're running a couple of jet sweeps. They've had 1 pass in this drive. And right now, they're just doing what they need to do to move the ball forward. They're not doing too much with it.
I totally agree with you, Dan, but Clayton's got to stop this run to be successful in this game. We've only seen 1 pass from Haddon Township offense.
And if they can take advantage of Clayton's defense this easily, that's not a great sign. And Clayton will have to do a lot more work on offense. Here comes a handoff over the middle. A whole bunch of folks flying everywhere. Haddon Township's remainder of their schedule, they travel down to Davis Field in Pittman to play the Panthers at 7 o'clock next week. Then they have a former Colonial Conference foe visit Haddon Township at 10:30 on the 28th. That is Collingswood. It is the first matchup between those two teams since 2008, before the formation of the WJFL. They play Mastery Camden on October 12th after a bye week, Gloucester Catholic on the 19th, that's at Gloucester Catholic, and then back-to-back road games versus Sterling and Audubon, Audubon being on Thanksgiving as a part of the 44th Annual Curly Cup to close out the season for the Hawks. That one's a handoff to the left side, again by Alcere High. Haddon Township was really resilient, scoring 13 points in the second half in a win over Gateway. A huge punt return by Jaden Halterwanger. And Haddon Township's quarterback Shane Alessi went 2 for 13 passing with 25 passing yards and an interception, but their biggest rusher was Alcere High, number 2, who went 15 rushes and 67 yards for the Hawks. They run it out of the Wildcat, and now Alcere High gets this one even closer to the goal line. Feels like in the blink of an eye, Haddon Township has moved themselves not only into the red zone, but they are inside the 10-yard line.
This is a great first offensive drive for Haddon Township here, and they're trying to punch it in and get more momentum after recovering that first kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, that was jarring enough. That was surprising enough to see what Haddon Township was able to do on that offensive, on that kickoff return. We are going to have a hold against Haddon Township. I didn't see the flag on the field, but
it's big for Clayton.
It is big for Clayton, and now that sets up it's going to be a 3rd and 10 here, but especially considering how close they were before. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still good being at the 18-yard line, or excuse me, at the 20-yard line for the Hawks, but it definitely could have been a lot better. Alessi's going to take the snap here, goes for a second pass, tipped up in the air, and gets knocked down. Handful of guys all over that one, including for Clayton, that being numbers number 9 on that play. And I was actually wrong again. That's number 10, Josiel Figueroa, with Alessi's incompletion.
Looks like the Haddon Township offense is going to stay out on the field here for a 4th down.
Honestly, I don't see why not. You know, you're in the red zone, and I think that in South Jersey Group 1 football, I mean, I know where you came from in Seneca. You have your kickers and punters. These guys are lucky to have special teams units on the roster. Usually, like, Clayton's punter is a defensive back. And Audubon's punter, you know, very lucky to have somebody who's actually specialized in it, but a bobbled catch. It's going to bring him to the far sideline at the 12. And we'll see if that's enough. Clayton's ringing those cowbells. And it will be a turnover on down. So Haddon Township fails in their first drive. And that holding call was what made the difference. I mean, they really could have just kept inching that ball further and further and probably would have gotten a touchdown if they weren't called for that hold. And now, after one drive and almost 5 minutes into the first quarter, we are scoreless.
Yeah, that was a great stand by the Clayton defense, and now we get to see what their run power offense can do. See if they can march down the field to the end zone.
And what I think is important is that, you know, Clayton didn't have to do a whole lot there. They stopped a couple of runs. They took advantage of a hold call, and they stopped the pass a couple of yards short. But now they're going to be backed up at their own 14. As here comes the rush. It'll get about 5 yards to the 19.
Here, number 6, Williams on the run.
It'll be the rush by Demetrius Williams, who, as we said, coming into this game as an absolute monster. 2 games for the senior rusher. 1,423 career rushing yards at 895 last year for the Clippers. Already 26 rushes this year, 528 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns in 2 games. I mean, this guy needs to get talked about more. I don't care if you're playing Collingswood, if you're playing Mastery Camden. Those are very impressive numbers, including 323 rushing yards versus Mastery Camden in that 47-6 win. And if you want to get more intel on that, 528 rushing yards and 26 rushes. He's averaging 20 yards per carry. It's incredible. I mean, yeah, that just shows incredible resiliency and stamina from a guy like Williams. I mean, yes, you have a couple other running backs that you can rely on in this situation, like Figueroa or anybody else for that matter, like Jalen Rodriguez or Quaddy Walls, Deron Williams. You've got a handful of guys, even Mikael Robinson. But
like you said, I don't care who you're playing, what group you're in, that deserves recognition throughout South Jersey and throughout New Jersey.
That'll be a handoff again up the middle. Swarm of defenders on that one. Clock's going to be stopped here, and let's see where they end up spotting this one. It looks like it's going to be at the 26, and it will be a Clayton first down. But here from a very nice and new facility here in Pennsauken at Allison Field. Turf was put in here last year after Bishop Eustace went through years of playing on muddy grass. And look, I mean, they deserve a good field for how great their remainder of their athletic facilities are. But this is a great complex. I mean, you are right across the street from the Cooper River, and it's a great place to be here in Pennsauken. As he's going to be ripped to the ground, Figueroa gets a big stop, as that will now mean 2nd and long.
Like you said in the pregame, Township has to stop the run, and they just did it right there for a big ball.
And that will bring them back to 2nd and long.
Spot, thank you. You're going to go down. You're going to take 1 hold down. Pet's on here. Yep.
Oh, boy. We're going to be in good company tonight.
We're just going to have to speak up, Dan.
Yeah, we're going to have to be loud tonight as here comes the handoff. There's a hair under over 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Still no score, but how about the fact that we've seen 1 flag and we've gone through almost an entire quarter with no penalties, with just 1 penalty, actually, that holding call. That's it.
What's even more interesting is we've seen two or three passes.
Yeah,
Like
but none
said,
from Clayton.
Clark said these are 2 run-heavy offenses, and we're seeing that right here in the first quarter.
Alessi went 2 for 13 last week versus Gateway, and here's Demetrius Williams working that magic again, and we do have a very late flag coming in at the line of scrimmage.
Giving too many men on the field towards the sideline.
Yeah, it's thrown by that side judge. Hold on here. See what the laundry is all about.
Saw some late unnecessary roughness on the Clayton sideline, but there was no flag there. Flag is on the Township sideline.
Yeah, let's see what's going on here from the Whitecap. Whatever it was, it seems to have been waved off, so not sure, but
Robinson back to quick.
so Mikael Robinson will punt this one away. Haddon Township deep to return. This one is up there. It's just going to land at the 48. Somebody's got to touch it. It's going to roll right back at midfield.
Good field position for the Township offense.
I mean, hey, look, they've had 2 drives tonight, and they've started them at the 42 and at the 50. If I'm Haddon Township, that's not much to complain about. What there is to complain about is not scoring. They definitely should have scored on that first drive, and the fact that they didn't speaks volumes into how, their offense needs to build and adapt. This is, a tougher opponent than Gateway was, and these guys just need to.
If I'm the Haddon Township coaching staff here, I believe they have to score on this drive.
Yeah, it's one thing to prove a point. That's what it is. As here comes a handoff, and that's going to be a big strip the line for a loss of about 4.
Both teams defending to run well, which they must do to.
Yeah, I mean, that's not easy for these guys to work things well at the line of scrimmage. We've seen a couple of those big-time stops tonight. But like I said, this is an incredibly efficient first quarter. Considering the last time we saw Clayton, the first quarter was 39 minutes from start to finish with all those cramps. This is like light speed. Here comes the handoff to the left side. Again, another sweep that will get past the line of scrimmage, but nothing further. As the rush gets stopped, but taken in on the rush there, number 3 for the Hawks. That being Jaden Halterwanger, who was the leading candidate to be, or I should say, the number 1 candidate in Haddon Township's 13-6 win over Gateway last week. Had a huge punt return late in the 4th to set the Hawks up in good field position, and
a long third down here.
Yeah,
Hawks, so
and then followed it up.
Interesting to see if they pass the ball.
Then followed it up with a 14-yard rushing TD to give Haddon Township the lead. So, but yeah, 3rd and 10. Clayton's defense on the stand and trying to make another stop here and force this first quarter to be scoreless. Still got 2 minutes to play, though. Alessi's going to let this one fly. A wobbly pass that gets tossed deep downfield. The ball gets wrestled out, and it looks like it will be an incompletion. Williams is calling incomplete, and so are the white and blacks right there. How about that? Intended for number 13, Elgin Baylor.
That is a right call by this referee.
Definitely right call, but it was close and broken up there by Josiel Figueroa. That is absolutely huge. They felt like they needed to pass on 3rd and 10. I mean, it seems like the situation with Haddon Township and Clayton is that Clayton can rush and get first downs on the rush. But when you're dealing with 3rd down and long, they needed to get themselves in the air, and they did that, but just not in the way that they wanted to from sophomore quarterback Shane Alessi. Here comes a booming punt all the way back to the 10. And he will trap this one deep in his own territory. Haddon Township was frankly lucky that they didn't get a fair catch violation there. But you know what? I mean, Clayton not setting up in the best position, but they've been able to overcome bad field position before. And it looks like in this second drive of the night for the Clippers, they'll be setting up inside their own 15 with 2 minutes exactly left in quarter number 1.
Early on in this game, but it looked like Haddon Township had the momentum to start covering that good off. Do you think the momentum was shifted back to the Clippers side?
I don't know if the momentum's on anybody's side right now. I mean, it's scoreless. These guys just haven't been able to get a lot of drives going. And considering the fact that last week for Haddon Township was a low-scoring game, 13-6, we might see the same this week. Handoff up the middle, a couple of players flying around, including Figueroa.
Good tackle there. That could have been a big play.
That could have been a breakaway if he didn't get past that tackler. .90 seconds left in the first quarter. Here from Allison Field in Pennsauken. Handoff to Figueroa. No, that is to number 20, who's got room. He breaks free from Hayden Marsh and gets tackled at the 39 for the Clippers. Yeah, late flag comes in after the rush by Enoch Figueroa. We'll see what the call is here.
I'm going to guess it's unnecessary roughness.
I don't know. I didn't see too much there. I mean, they were going back and forth with Hayden March and Enoch Figueroa.
The Hawks coach is arguing with the ref.
So I would imagine it's a Haddon Township penalty. And look at where these guys are moving. So it's going to be against the Hawks.
So a big run and then a late penalty. And now the Clippers are in the Hawks territory.
I mean, this is mano-a-mano right here. Clayton's drive getting helped by an unnecessary roughness call. Haddon Township's drive getting beaten up by a holding call. So Haddon Township's hurt themselves on the penalties tonight. Rush up the middle gets stopped right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. They're going to set this one up from the 45. 2nd and 8 here for the Hawks. With under a minute to play in the first, and still no team has found themselves in the end zone yet. And hold on here, time's going to stop at 29 seconds.
The defense looked very out of pace there.
Yeah.
Confused.
Looks like timeout's going to be called by the Hawks. We'll take a quick break. 29 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. We have no score here between Clayton and Haddon Township. Here with 30 seconds left in the first quarter, Clayton's going to get one more play off before the end. Haddon Township took a timeout. Comes the handoff over the middle, finds some room. Gets himself a first down, carry by Figueroa.
Hawks have to stop the run. They really do.
I mean, yeah, Clayton's just been inching so much closer to the red zone on every play. And it's deja vu of Haddon Township's first drive. Inch by inch by inch. They've been moving it across.
I'm pretty sure every play that Clayton has run has been a run.
It has been. And at the end of the first quarter, we've got no score here between the Clippers and the Hawks. We'll be right back on DWB.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Here from Allison Field, start of the second quarter, Haddon Township looking to defend this rush to the left side and getting out of bounds towards the track. Going to be a big run there by number 3, Deron Williams, the freshman, who put himself in a good position there and immediately hugged the sideline. And they will immediately move the change for a first down for the Clippers. 4 rushes on 18 yards. Did not have any stats versus Collingswood, but had those 18 rushing yards versus Mastery Camden last week. First attempt from the 22, Clippers on the doorstep of the red zone. Handoff over the middle's got some room, and it's a touchdown, Clayton. They find the end zone after barely being able to find the red zone for the first time. It's Josiel Figueroa who gets in, and on one of the first plays from scrimmage in the second quarter, get themselves on the board first. 6-0 Clippers.
I see why Clayton doesn't need to pass the ball. They have a great O-line. They have great running backs. And now they're up 6-0.
That's exactly what we saw there, and Clayton will now attempt the PAT with senior kicker Tala Yagmerkaya. It is up and away and good. Straight through the uprights. One of the things that not too many teams in South Jersey Group 1 can do, which is score an extra point. Here we go. 7-0 Clippers with under a minute passed in the second quarter. We'll be right back. Let's see here. This one on very long. One of the shirts that we got going into the break is the band director here for Clayton and Kings. It's not something but fun.
Great crowd, first song.
Yeah, I mean, look, Haddon Township is one of the most, is one of the strongest student sections in South Jersey with through. They travel very well as well. Second. Great. All the way from out of town sports. Millville is main and 15-7 early in the third. Along with that, Eatsville ran 14-7 at the end of the third quarter. And at the end of the same rest of these Jeremy to the and up west for they're coming right now. Still, yeah.
Third down and 4 here for Haddon Township. It's a must-have.
7-0 Clippers. That's 16 up. This one's got it. He's got it deep down the sideline. He's got room, and it's a touchdown. Haddon Township, they've tied it, or they might tie it if they get a PAT.
A rare seed in this game, a pass.
Number 3 for the Hawks, Jaden Halterwanger, who was a big part of that week 1 victory last week, gets the Hawks on the board, and it's 7-6. They will go for the PAT. We'll go with that shuffle formation. They go for the two-pointer, and it is good. How about that, Haddon Township with the fake PAT, originally started by Kyle Stevens, and it is 8-7 Hawks. We will take a quick break. 9:19 left in the first half. We're going to try to manage as best as we can, but it is 8-7 Hawks.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Back here early in the second quarter.
Onside kind of kick.
It's going to be double ball. Comes out. Haddon Township has it again. The ball squeezed like a balloon out of Clayton's defense on the return. And Haddon Township has done it for the second time tonight. The special teams have done it again, as it was basically squeezed right out of the hands of Figueroa, and the Hawks take over on offense.
Dan Clayton's defense didn't have much time to breathe there, so
they didn't have any time to breathe.
Haddon Township's offense can take advantage of it.
Let's see what they've got in store. Lead 8-7 after a two-point conversion, and Alessi going back to pass. That's this one fly, incomplete, and a late flag. We're going to have defensive pass interference on Figueroa. Yeah, had a feeling that was going to come in, much to the dismay of the visiting crowd, but we'll see. We'll see what the white cap has to say. I'm not sure. I certainly thought it was defensive pass interference, but that's what it looked like, but you never know sometimes. They waved the flag off. Okay, so it will be an incompletion.
That's not going to go over well with the Haddon Township coaching staff.
I'm sure it won't. Not with Zach Dayton, not with anybody. With the pass intended for number 10, Dylan Murrow. I haven't seen much of him tonight, but see what they've got in store. So after the incompletion and the flag is waved off, 2nd and 10 from the Hawks 44. Or I should say from the Clippers 44. Man in motion, handoff up the middle, and this will get swarmed at the line of scrimmage. Some late shoves coming in there on the rush by Charlie Punge, the fullback. Nice to see the fullback still getting some love here in high school football. It's basically all but dead if you if you don't count Kyle Juszczyk for the 49ers, but that's about it. But it's nice to see that still utilized here in high school football, at least to some extent. Fullback in the year of our Lord 2024. Not too much, but Haddon Township.
I do not love it though.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the fullback position. 8:20 left in the first half. Alessi with a top-down handoff gets stopped again at the line of scrimmage. Some late things and a late flag, very late flag. Some guys on top of each other together there, and this might be a personal foul. I have a feeling something's going to be going down. Not sure, maybe it's on the Clayton defense, but considering Haddon Township's been hurt by penalties tonight, it would be too shocking. It's going to be a personal foul on Clayton, so that will move them back. No, and I don't blame him, honestly. I mean, Clayton's not happy about it either, and here comes John Chamberlain
He wants an answer.
He wants, at least, if anything, an answer. But it seems like Zach Dayton and John Chamberlain have been a little bit frustrated with the officiating staff tonight.
Both sides.
On both sides. Well, that's what I'm saying. Zach Dayton, Haddon Township's head coach, and John Chamberlain, obviously airing their grievances, and seems like both sides of the ball, maybe some penalties that maybe shouldn't have been there. Here comes a pitch back to the left side. A rush to the left.
Clayton all over that one.
By number 3, Halterwanger again. But this is where the two-point conversion really makes a big difference, especially that fake PAT attempt. Haddon Township, recovering that on the squib kick. If they're able to execute that and then do it again, well, guess what? You're up 16-7. I mean, this is already a decently high-scoring quarter if you can get a couple more scores on the board. So, I mean, we're not talking Buena-Gloucester where you go up 28-0 in the first quarter, but this is more just a gradual back and forth. Seeing some great offense from these guys tonight so far. Here comes the handoff. Up the middle again towards the left hand. Clock's going to be stopped at 7:18.
To get into the half with the lead is huge. Especially in high school football, it's huge.
Especially in this level of high school football where, Clayton hasn't been all that great on two-point conversions this year. It would be nice to see them get a break. And especially with the ball now on the 13. We'll see where it goes. Again, sending a man in motion, that being Hernell. And a late tackle there at 15, so that'll be a loss of about 1 or 2, second down. But a packed house tonight for a game that's basically a neutral site. I mean, you're at Bishop Eustis here, you're not at Haddon Township, you're not at Clayton, and Clayton doesn't even have that large of grandstands. And Bishop Eustis for Catholic schools are relatively smaller. So, you're seeing a lot of people showing out. I mean, Haddon Township obviously not far from here at all. Clayton's a bit longer of a drive, but there's not a lot of empty seats here in the visiting grandstand for as little space as there is. There's people on the fences. There's people everywhere. I mean, Clayton seems to travel well, at least for this ball game. As this is going to be cut to the left and a touchdown, Haddon Township. Another one comes through the end zone. This time by number 34, Derek Hudnall. And the Hawks get in the end zone again. There's the student section, the new crew having some fun. They lead 14-7 with a chance to make this 15 or 16. They'll once again go with this, they call it the muddle huddle. We saw Haddonfield do this a whole bunch last week. We'll see if they go for the PAT or if they go for 2. We'll see what they've got in their bag of tricks. This time, it'll be a standard PAT, and it is up, away, and good. Straight through the uprights in Haddon Township with a score you don't see a whole lot in high school football or just in football in general. It's 15-7 with 6 minutes left, and the first half will be right back. Haddon Township looking to send this one away. Well, this time, no squib intended there. This one's going to roll all the way back. They got Haddon Township scoops in. No way! Did he touch that? Did he touch that ball? Hold on. Hold your horses. I don't think they touched it. But John Chamberlain is tipped off Clayton. But did 14 have a hand on it? Did Trevor Rem, the freshman, have a hand on it? They're going to Haddon Township's got there. It's going to be a touchback. Okay. So, oh my goodness. That happened to the Jets a couple of years ago. New Year's Day. They kicked a touchdown, basically.
Special teams is a little bit of a concerning problem.
Here's the thing, though. Is it concerning special teams for Clayton, or is it impressive special teams for Haddon Township to have two kick recoveries on squib kicks? One of them where the ball just popped out like a balloon. I mean, I don't know. Like, part of me wants to say it's a bad special teams job by Clayton, but another part of me wants to say, hey, Haddon Township did the homework, and they have had incredible special teams tonight on the kicking team. Not even on the receiving team. You don't have to worry about that if you're just kicking yourself into more possessions. So Clayton got very lucky there because you could see the freshman Trevor Rem, he reached down and according to the officials he didn't make contact, but he was very close. Handoff to Williams.
I think it's a mixture of both good and bad special teams.
Oh yeah, it absolutely can be both.
But you see the ball there on the goal line. Haddon Township's coming full throttle at you. In my opinion, you have to pick up that ball and try to do something.
Yeah, I mean that's a play where if they gave up that touchdown, I don't know if he would have seen the field for a long time. But it would have been a long bus ride back. That would have been a very long bus ride back, even if they won, because plays like that do not look good on your resume. Williams going way back, but he won't be the recipient. This is going to move everybody up a couple of yards.
I think we get a pass from the Clippers on this guy.
I mean, probably not. No need to, really. I mean, it's going to be a Clipper first down. They've shown that they can be effective short, third and short, second and short, fourth and short. They've been able to do it all. The one thing that I've noticed, considering that I saw them 2 weeks ago versus Collingswood, the big difference is that they got a lot more breakaway runs. They got these 30, 40-yard runs a couple weeks ago. Now they're just inching across for a couple of yards per play. I mean, what do we say about Demetrius Williams? He's averaged 20 yards per carry this season, and Haddon Township seems to be holding him mostly in
really
check.
haven't seen those 20 yards.
We haven't seen those breakaway runs, and that brings down your average yards per carry. It doesn't help too much when you're not in the position to break away, and part of that's on the defensive line for Haddon Township to stop that. They've come to play, but also the secondary. Even when you break through that first wall, you also get, that second wall of DBs and safeties and linebackers. And here comes a breakaway, not from Williams, but it'll be from Enoch Figueroa, who gets a first down for the Clippers. Handoff to Figueroa again. There we go. Just now Figueroa. final. At the end of the third quarter, Camden leads Shawnee 25-3, and then St. Augustine Prep and Cherokee, they lead it. Hermits lead 21-7 early in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter of Mainland Millville, it's 27-7 in favor of Millville. And in Cherry Hill East, their first ever night game in the history of the program, Cougars lead 21-7 over the Triton Mustangs with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Holy Spirit leads Hamilton 28-0 at the half. And we're going to have a timeout called by Haddon Township. They're second charged. And there are also some North Jersey action. Park Ridge leads 27-0 over Wallington. Gateway leads. I'm kind of glad we chose this game tonight. Gateway leads Wildwood 28-0 at the half. So yeah. And actually, Camden has piled on some more scores in the fourth quarter, 38-3, with 3 minutes left in the regulation. Woodstown has a 19-0 lead over Shalleck at the half. Big trouble there for Kenai Simmons and the Shalleck Cougars. In short conference action, Tom River North took care of Jackson Memorial 54-10. And along with that, seeing what else we have on the old Twitter feed. Not too much else, but don't forget, tomorrow we'll be covering the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd here on DWB, 11 a.m. kickoff. Under 3 minutes now left in the first half. Handoff to the right side. We've got a flag. Haddon Township wants the ball.
Not sure what this is.
It's a slew of things. Clock's going to get stopped here. We'll see what they sort this all out. There was a flag in the backfield.
We'll see what this is.
Yeah, maybe a hold. I'm not sure. I mean, they already got hit by a holding penalty earlier that disrupted this drive. Remember, because we're in the visiting bleachers, the white cap and the referee face away from us. It's going to be against Haddon Township. Again, they've got their Zach Dayton's got their hands up again. It's going to be a face mask against Haddon Township. So hey, Clayton got hurt by a penalty. Now Haddon Township gets hurt by a penalty. Mano y mano. They'll move them up 15 yards to the 37. First down, Clippers. So the first quarter ended 0-0.
Whistles are still blowing.
Yeah, I think they're just not ready to run a play yet. And now they will have the clock run. But Haddon Township got the scoring, or Clayton got the scoring started, and then 2 touchdowns for Haddon Township. And it's 15-7. But hey, so far, good game. I mean, we've only had one game this season be decided by more than 2 possessions. That was Camden Kingsway. And even then, they held their own until the end, of 30-0 final. Camden poured on a couple of touchdowns at the end, but Camden's Camden. We got maybe
bad snap.
Yeah, bad snap. Then some late guys piling on top of each other there, including number 72 for the Clippers, Robert Grant. Clock's going to be stopped at 1:53. The timeout's going to be called by the Clippers, and we will also call a timeout of our own, 15-7, late in the first half. Clock's lead. Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Clayton aided by a face mask penalty. Yosio Figueroa goes down, and this will be 4th down and mid-range. Clayton used one of their 3 timeouts. Clayton has 2 remaining. Haddon Township has 1.
If I'm Clayton, Clayton here. I want to punch it into the end zone, and I want to run this clock down to the half so the Hawks do not get another chance.
Don't forget, Clayton will not receive the ball to start the second half. That's going to be well short.
There's a pile up on the 25-yard line. The ref will have to sort it out.
Yeah, actually, this is a little bit closer than we thought here. We're going to see where they have to spot it. And they will force a turnover on downs. So that is not what they wanted there, but a big stop for Haddon Township. Like we said, I think, it kind of became foggy in our minds that Haddon Township's going to get the ball back to start the second half because they started the game, right? But that's because of that offensive kick return that they were able to pull off the first of 2 times that they've done that tonight. It's not easy for these guys to go through all of this, but they've been able to make it work.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Let me hear it, David.
Haddon Township is going to get another kickoff recovered to their side.
I think it's going to happen again tonight.
They're going to go 3 for 3.
Okay.
I see it coming. The special teams has been
third
shaky.
time's the charm, right?
They say that.
Here comes the handoff to the left side for Alzir High. Gets tugged in the back. And now a swarm on the 35.
The special teams and the hands team for Clayton has been shaky tonight, and why not just slip down to the Haddon Township?
I mean, as you said before, it's a matter of why can't it be both a mixture of Haddon Township special teams being great and Clayton special teams having issues of their own tonight. So, it's not too hard to say that, to play devil's advocate and say that both outcomes can be true between these two teams. I mean, when you are able to convert 2 squib kicks into free possessions for you, that's amazing. Alessi's going to let this one fly deep downfield. He's got room. He makes the catch to Elgin Baylor, and that's going to be down at the 30. They're going to say that it's complete, and he stepped out at the 34. And now with a minute left in the half, Haddon Township utilizes the long ball. Like we said, Alessi only went 2 for 13 last week. Now, he has proven everyone wrong here in week 2.
Maybe the butterflies are out, and just letting it fly tonight, and it seems to be working.
And you also have to remember, quarterbacks can pass differently on turf than grass. 100%. Haddon Township used to their grass field back at home. Playing on the turf, maybe his footing's a little easier. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's working. Handoff over the middle. Hayden Marsh, a longtime follower of DWB on the carry.
For a Hawks first down.
Watch this new crew here. They're loving it with the red and white.
What's there not to love about Friday Night Lights?
I mean, there's a lot of well, first of all, there's a lot of things not to love. We've had some bad games over the years, but this is certainly not one of them.
Final timeout.
Final timeout for Haddon Township. This broadcast is brought to you by Dog Wrestling. The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th at the Sacred Heart Church in Riverton, 103 4th Street in Riverton. Bell time is 7:30. You can tune in and watch as the reigning champion Breaker Morant squares off against his foes, along with former WWE Tag Team Specialist Tank Toland. There are over 20 competitors on the slate for an amazing night of semi-pro wrestling here in South Jersey at the Sacred Heart Church, 103 4th Street in Riverton. Also, we are always looking for small business owners to become advertisers of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. No matter where you are, we've serviced South Jersey since fall of 2021, and I'm a freshman at Rowan College of South Jersey, always trying to help pay the bills a little bit. Everything goes towards college expenses along with travel costs and equipment expenses. For an advertising inquiry, you can email us at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That's also available in the description of this YouTube video. And all commercials that you see here on DWB are filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by myself and my wonderful crew. Again, goes all towards college funds and equipment expenses. And we thank you for watching Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, because there are so many other things you can be doing with this Friday night. They're going to go back for a deep pass from the back. It's going to be... Did he catch that in the end zone? Yes! Touchdown Township! They went with an incredible wild card of a play. Halterwanger can do it all. And they do get that score. And they'll go with a very quick muddle huddle.
I just want to bring up a point, Bill.
Oh, man.
We mentioned that Clayton's got to stop the running game in the pregame. maybe they're focusing too much on stopping that running game, because the passing game for Haddon Township at this point looks solid.
I mean, to be completely fair, you look at it on paper, why would you trust Haddon Township's passing game? This one's up away, and it's good.
Somebody has to go on comfort and get that ball.
Gonna be 22-7 Haddon Township, as they have brought home 22 points excuse me, on 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. What a drive for Haddon Township, capping it all off with a 22-yard passing touchdown by Jaden Haltewanger, of all people. The guy who won the game single-handedly for Haddon Township last week versus Gateway.
He had 2 great catches on that drive.
And now he's back doing it on the passing drive as well. We've got 35 seconds left here in the first half. We'll stay on the air here. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, along with toys, cages, accessories, and more. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. And like we said, even if you're not a small business owner, we do have a Venmo account at DW Broadcasting. No spaces, no hyphens. If you'd like to make a contribution, all donations and contributions are incredibly appreciated towards our entire crew. Like we said, 18-year-old college student. I do this to try to advance my career. I'm spending 2 years at Rowan College of South Jersey and then transferring to the main campus in 2026. Of course, not required, as we keep all broadcasts free here on DWB, but it is incredibly appreciated. Not a squib this time, but this one's going to be over to the left side. It is booted, and now they're going to whistle this one. They're going to whistle it dead with a late flag. What's this all about? The ref came in like a heat-seeking missile with a flag there.
To be completely honest, I have no idea why it was blown dead.
I don't know why it was blown dead, because it was fumbled and then it was picked up.
Returned.
I don't know. We're going to figure this one out.
This might be something we have to get an explanation for after the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll roll with the flow, but...
Because like I was saying, the Clayton receiver picked up the ball, was running with it, and the ref came in like a madman, threw the flag, and
yeah, I mean, Quaddy Walls on the return there, whatever it was, So there is a personal foul on the Clippers after the kick. Whatever that is, I don't know what that was, but I don't know. To be quite frank with you, I don't know. And Haddon Township now traps their offense.
2 timeouts for 32 seconds for the Clippers. Be interesting to see what they did.
Williams or somebody, whether it's Figueroa or Williams or somebody else he can pick out of a hat, needs a breakaway here. We've got dirty laundry on the line of scrimmage. Williams, it's got to be maybe a false start or something. I mean, they were all blown at the line of scrimmage. I'm surprised they didn't.
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift.
Yes.
Okay. So, an illegal shift on the Clippers traps them back even further. Now, Haddon Township, of course, was scored on via a safety when we saw them last year versus Gateway in a 19-0 final. Vince, I don't know if you were there, but the Haddon Township Gateway game, that was something special. It was 5-0 going into the fourth quarter. I wanted that game to end 5-0 so badly, because I don't know if that's ever happened before. We do have, we're not going to show this on camera, but there is a some member of their personnel being carried away on a stretcher. I was wondering why they thought it was. Yeah, there's a stretcher, now that their face is out of view, there is a stretcher carrying that personnel. Didn't look like a player because they had a gray t-shirt on, as that is the end of the first half, 22-7, but there is an ambulance outside of the complex here, and whatever happened there, hopefully he's okay.
Everything's all right.
Yeah, hopefully everything's all right, but Haddon Township will go back to the locker room. Eyes a kite on that one, as they've got a 22-7 lead, including an incredible throw by Jaden Haltewanger, the receiver, to cap off that drive. So 22 points in just 12 minutes. We'll be right back. We've got a 15-minute break coming up right after this here on DWB. right, we are here from Allison Field here at the Bishop Eustace Prep School here in Pennsauken. It is a beautiful night, 73 degrees here in Pennsauken, right above the Cooper River, La Scalisbera behind us. Just a beautiful night and a wonderful game of football so far. 22-7. Haddon Township leads Clayton after a scoreless first quarter. A combined 29 points were scored between these two teams in the second, including a 8-point play by Haddon Township. And to end the half, how about a 22-yard flea flicker from number 3, that being Jaden Halterwanger, who played a big part in Haddon Township's win over Gateway last week. Like we said, Gateway leads Wildwood at the half, 28-0.
Great job.
So Haddon Township looking to ride the wind of their successful 22-point second quarter. Clayton's going to kick this one away with Mikhail Robinson. Here comes a high flyer. This one trails to the right. It's going to be taken in at Haddon Township 15. Here comes the return by Baylor. This one's going to go out to the 35. And decent field position for Haddon Township as they start their first drive of the third quarter and of the second half. But very impressive Haddon Township has played so far on offense. They didn't seem to have, neither team seemed to have momentum going in the first quarter. And now that Haddon Township has exploded for 22 points in the second, every team, they've had 15 minutes to regroup. They've had chances to resettle and get themselves back into the groove. Clayton's got some work to do.
They definitely do have work to do. And I would like to see a more balanced defense. What I mean by that is stopping the run, stopping the pass game while stopping the run still.
Right.
And all around just playing a better defense in the second half.
Rush over to the left side.
Halterwanger with a run on the jet sweep.
By Halterwanger. A couple of Hayden Marsh chants broke out. He's a beloved figure here in Haddon Township, to say the least. Mr. Marsh, longtime supporter of DWB, and a senior here at Haddon Township, number 1. I mean, most teams give their jersey number 1 to their most honorable and distinguished of team members. As here comes a handoff up the middle, a freight train through the middle by number 8.
Pund with the run.
That being Charlie Pund on that one. And by the way, a final from Bordentown, my alma mater, Audubon, just picked up their first win of the season with an 8-7 win over Bordentown. Millville beat Mainland 40-7. Woodstown in the first play of the fourth quarter went 35 yards to the house, 26-0 Woodstown over Shalleck. Cherry Hill East took care of Triton 31-7. Cougars are now 3-0 in the young campaign, and St. Augustine took care of Cherokee. By a score of 31-7. So, rush by Haddon Township doesn't go too far. Gets snuffed at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Clayton tried to throw a hand towel on the sideline. You can see that there from number 5.
Lettuce sandwich
from Quaddy Walls. But Haddon Township always bringing the amenities, even on the road. They are the 3rd stadium that I know to serve Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Gateway Gloucester, and where were we last week? I'm trying to think now. Kingsway, yeah. See, you knew better than I did. This is going to be a offsides on the Clippers. That'll bring it to 2nd and 5. So now you can add Haddon Township to that list. Although their snack stand out there, not sure if that's just the one-off that they're serving Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but yeah, I mean it's maybe, I don't know. I mean, there was a long line there at halftime.
That offsides penalty, it's not a big deal. It's a 5-yard penalty, right? But Clayton is down 22-7. Two-score game. They have to limit the penalties and get back into this football game.
That's exactly what they need to do here, and they need to get it done sooner rather than later. Here comes the handoff. Oh, they're going to do a lateral. They flick it back on the double, and that's going to be short of a first. I kept thinking I saw a flag there, but that's just the shoes of number 52, Roger Harper. I didn't know you could have bright yellow shoes sitting on a football game. Yeah, I was just surprised by that. Like, it looked like a flag. Just like in baseball, you can't have your glove, your pitching glove, have any white on it because that's the color of the baseball, and they don't want any confusion. So it caused a little bit of confusion to me from the defensive end, but it is 3rd and short from the Clippers 46. Going to hand this one back. He's going to easily get a first down and ends up getting trucked by number 18, Nico Funcha. That'll be a first down for the Hawks as they inch this ball back to the 40.
Good drive going here by the Hawks. Their O-line's just doing the right job, hitting the blocks they need. And the running game just going right up the middle, and sometimes with the wide receiver jet coming to the outside of the field.
Definitely a good night for Haddon Township after a slow first quarter. Had a little sax solo going on here from the Clayton band. Always nice to see a band as good as Clayton's performing here tonight. As here comes the handoff to the right side. He gets tripped up at the 30. See, we're going to have to hear from that sax player. Maybe some Branford Marsalis tonight. Definitely maybe a little Jeff Coffin, Leroy Moore. And of course, your trombone. The only trombone player I can think of is Trombone Shorty. But that's all I can think of. But an interesting night here as Haddon Township doing what they do best, which is burning time. This is their first possession of the half, and here comes a deep ball. It is incomplete, intended for Elgin Baylor, but in double coverage gets sailed off to the right. And an incompletion. This will be 3rd and 1 now, so they went for it. Now
that pass looked a little underthrown unless he did get hit in the backfield.
I'm not sure if it looked as much underthrown as it did, just it wasn't completely on target. It was a little bit to the right. It looked like if maybe that throw got straightened out, he definitely would have found Baylor in the red zone. Here comes a handoff. We've got applause on both sides, shoving on both sides. We'll see where they spot this. It's on 3rd and 1. And yeah, it's going to be 4th and 1, so they did change it. They will not convert. 4th and 1. They've got a short distance to go.
Little quarterback sneak here, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe see what they can pull out of the magic trick bag.
It's a long one, it looks like.
Yeah, look at this. They're gonna try to go for a handoff, quick dive play. Clayton's got applause. I think this is gonna be short, and it will be. Clayton is able to stop Haddon Township, and that is a huge momentum shifter right there for the Clippers defense, which didn't really have much to go for them in the second quarter. Considering they gave up 22 points and gave up a lot of long passes from Shane Alessi, now they're starting to get themselves back in the rhythm, which is exactly what you need right here. So 22-7, Haddonfield leads, but just a 2-point conversion can make this a 7-point game again. And even a simple 7-point TD and PAT would make this a 8-point, very doable game, one possession. Handoff to the left side. Mercer, who I think that's Williams up on that play, and it's second down. Went a little bit past the line of scrimmage to the 35. There's those partners in crime in attendance tonight. Frank Rago, the head coach of Clayton High boys basketball, running that very famous run and gun offense, one of the few schools to do that here in Jersey, and certainly the only one in South Jersey. And Clayton athletic director Dan Antonelli over there, having himself a ball of a time.
Ready when you are. I'm so gonna.
6 minutes left in the third quarter. Here comes a handoff up the middle towards the left hash. Gets about 5 yards again. First down markers at the 41. Should be about a yard short. Short for the Clippers. Handoff, he's certainly got a first down and more. He's past the 50 and he gets tackled at the 50. Demetrius Williams on it again. First down for Clayton. First down Clippers, they now take this one over at the opposing 49. And this is the best chance Clayton's had in a while to get in the end zone. They just need a couple of breakaways here from Demetrius Williams. They are golden. Handoff to the left side. Gets again about 4 or 5 yards.
The O-line's got to hold this block stronger. They hold the block stronger. The challenge being the Haddon Township secondary. You can see more of these breakout runs coming in.
So it is second and mid-range after another 5-yard rush. I mean, hey, if you're rushing about 4 or 5 yards every play, that's really all you need. You can waste time, and you still have plenty of time to go. I mean, look, we're sitting about 16 minutes left in the half. 4 in the third, 12 to go in the fourth, and a barrel roll up to third and short. Big tackle for the Hawks.
See on that play, nobody blocked.
And that's what stopped him. If Clayton can get those offensive line blocks, which they've been able to do a decent amount in this drive, then you're golden. You don't need Demetrius Williams to get 30, 40 yards on a play. You don't need that. You just need 4 or 5 yards every play, and as long as Haddon Township is consistent on that defensive side, and as long as the Clayton offensive line is consistent, then you're golden and you're going to be in the red zone in a couple of minutes before the end of the quarter. Sends a man in motion. That is Williams, who gets leveled below the waist at the 40. It's going to be 4th and about 1 as the first down marker is at the 39. Big spot here for Clayton. Might need a dive or a sneak. Something to get him across on 4th and short. Not sure. Close. Our angle's not 100%. Haddon Township wants it. I mean, this is the latest of late flags we've seen. Hold on here. Did you see something I didn't? Because
I saw the Clayton head coach argue with the ref about the ruling on the play and the flag.
Oh, John Chamberlain might have done a
it's gonna be unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. He might have did a Brad Kelly there. Looks like they're going to call a sideline warning there. So I remember the Chiefs head coach, like maybe 10 years ago, a week before he got fired and replaced with Andy Reid, ended up getting a 15-yard penalty against his team for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's the last thing you want, is to get your own team in trouble because of something that you did. But it seems like they're going to give him mercy here on a sideline warning.
That's the last thing that Clayton can use at this point.
Especially with 3 minutes left in the third. Time is a-wasting as we've got a flag as the ball is stopped at the 45. You know, I remember very well a little while back that in the first quarter we only had one flag on the opening drive, and we had a very brief and quick first quarter. And now we're having flags almost every other play, like we like to say, dirty laundry on the field. So we'll see what this is, but
We got player down.
oh yeah, we do have a Clayton Clipper down. So we will take a quick break as it's 22-7, 3 minutes and a chunk of change left in the third quarter as the Clippers trail the Hawks by 2 scores. We'll be right back.
Glasgow, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com.
All right, so the injury timeout was for Clayton's number 18, Nico Thungcha, who was helped off the field, but he is now on the sideline. And Haddon Township, after their start to this drive, they are at 1st and 20. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it was a holding call. Because I know we were talking about a flag and then the clock was stopped for a Clayton player down, but 2.5 minutes now. Well, that's big for Clayton because both of these teams have kind of been sabotaged by penalties tonight. It hasn't been a walk through the Garden of Roses for either team tonight. It's Haddon Township got hurt by penalties in the first half. Now Clayton's starting to get the bug. It's not easy for these guys to go an entire drive without some drive-killing penalty. As a rush to the right side that even fooled me ends up making up for some of that difference. That should bring them within 10 yards of the first.
This Haddon Township offensive line has done a great job tonight. Getting blocks for long, motivating the blocks, just running outside. You saw that second down at
Ocean City beat Lenape 21-14. Manchester Township wins over Keeneland's 30-27. Eastern took care of Vineland 22-3. Leslie rolls out to the left.
there was a holding call in the secondary, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it'll be a defensive hold. But they are respotting the ball at the 45. It is fourth. Okay, so they're going to bring out special teams unit for just the second time tonight. But they've got a booming special teams unit.
Second huge stop and run for the Clayton defense. Now they have to transfer it into offense.
Especially considering the penalties. Here we go. Punt taken away by number 17, Jack Jantorno. Punt will roll out at the sideline about the 30, and the Clippers will take over. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students pass their first New Jersey State driving test on the first attempt. If you like those odds, book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Newman, next to Lambs Road. So Clippers take over at their own 35.
This is a must-have scoring drive. 1:18 left in the third quarter.
I mean, we've been saying that since the first, really, but they just haven't been able to get consistent momentum. If they pass this one backwards to Williams, he crosses over a couple of guys, gets himself to the 44. That'll be a gain of about 7, and a dangerous pass that didn't look like it crossed the line of scrimmage, but he was able to get lucky. And now under a minute left in the third, and we do have a Haddon Township player struggling to get up. We got a cramp from number 79. That being for the Hawks, number 79, Will Coward. The Hawks looking to go 2-0 in the young campaign. They are led by head coach Zach Dayton, assistant coaches Nick Marino, Rob Akar, Eric DiCrescenzo, Rob Cortez, and Brian Farnham. Athletic trainer Courtney Robinson and volunteer assistants Michael Sheridan, Don Olson, Spencer McCoy, Sean Andrew, and Troy Pinkett. Clayton 1-1 on the campaign. They are already in their third game of the young campaign, and they are looking to continue their momentum and continue their drive in this season, looking to avoid their second loss of the year. But the Clippers, led by head coach John Chamberlain, assisted by Paul Flagg, Mark Sook, Cannon Gonzalez, Nick Chamberlain, Jake Chamberlain, Doug Banks, Brandon Wright, Michael Martucci, Nick Shimkus, and Alex Ryan. Also athletic trainer Sarah Campbell and athletic director and vice principal Dan Antonelli, who is cool as a cucumber on that Clayton sideline over there with Frank Braga, who also, I would argue, one of the coolest, one of the most down-to-earth head coaches in South Jersey, along with one of the more low-key athletic directors as well. We always thank Dan Antonelli for having us out tonight. A little bit of DWB, we'll take care of this after this play here. 54 seconds left in the third quarter, and now clock is running. Now timeout will be called by Haddon Township. So that didn't take long, and Haddon Township burns their first timeout of the second half. We're going to take a quick break. Haddon Township leads 22-7 over the Clayton Clippers.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Late in the third, second and mid-range, got to rush up the middle. Haddon Township burned their first timeout of the second half.
That play there, Dan. We saw another tackle by the defensive line. Right, the front of the defense, defensive line. Clayton has to force the ball into the secondary, whether that's with the run or the pass. Country scores 27
End of the third quarter. I apologize. I lost track of time for a second there. We will take a very quick break. 22-7. Clayton has 12 minutes to score.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and...
Look at this. Clayton's going to pass on 1st and 10. It's going to be knocked out. Some heavy coverage in the secondary. And a rare Clayton pass. I guess I've got to swallow my words again from Haven Walls, the sophomore quarterback. Not a bad ball either. Double coverage from Nasir Saud-Damas. And look, that was his first career pass attempt across his high school career. But they're bringing him back out there. And, you know, he's been a very quiet part of this Clayton offense tonight, mostly with just handoffs. But I think Clayton is now finally starting to, you know, unravel things and realize, hey, we have to put together a successful drive and change things up. I mean, the formations are almost entirely different now, and they're going back again for another pass. Line drive, and immediately picked off. Hayden Marsh on the pickoff, gets hit the sideline at the 45, and Hayden Marsh, the senior, takes care of it. And what a pick there by Hayden Marsh. That basically just landed right in his lap like a gift on Christmas morning. And he's able to get this pick on the second play from scrimmage in the 4th quarter. And that was a big blow for Clayton.
It was. That ball was right in the hands of the defender. It was all red jerseys, not really many white jerseys. And Township comes up with it. And first 10.
There's not a lot you can say about that one. I mean, first pass that Haven Walls made, not a bad ball at all. Just hit double coverage and, you know, didn't exactly get what he wanted. Now here comes the rush to the short sideline. Clock will run. That one gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, but then that second pass, just, I knew as soon as that ball started to trail down that it was going into the hands of defense, and especially for Clayton, who was just finally starting to show some prowess on the offensive side. They just haven't been able to get many things going. I mean, they've had to punt a lot. You know, when they did get something going in the drive, they turned the ball over, and they've been hit hard with penalties tonight. Both teams have been hit hard, don't get me wrong, but Haddon Township has benefited more from penalties after the first quarter than anything Clayton's been able to do here in the second half. Leslie with the pass tipped. Incomplete. Almost got picked by the defensive line by 54.
Interesting to see Haddon Township passing the ball.
It's not like they didn't pass the ball. Jacob Leslie was much less successful. He was 2 for 13 versus Gateway, and now he's completed at least 2 or 3 times. So it's not easy for, you know, week 1 and week a third time. They just punted for a first down. That's unbelievable.
It's like Haddon Township.
It's special teams magic, yeah. No fourth down is safe. And these guys are killing it out here.
Probably going to be a point of emphasis in the upcoming week of practice.
Oh, especially. I mean, look, they've got a heavy week ahead for the Clippers. They're going to have to get back in the win column soon if they want to replicate last year. Handoff to the right side. That fooled basically everyone except for maybe two Clayton defenders. As the handoff goes over to number 34 again, Derek Hudnall, who had a handful of rushing yards versus the Gators last week. Don't forget, tomorrow at 11 a.m., we are going to go home and we're going to get some quick sleep as we've got the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd 11 a.m. kickoff from Woodbury High School. And off to the left. Gets stopped and gets thrown to the ground. Number 3, Jaden Halterwanger on the carry. And that Haddon Township player is down. They're going to stop the clock at 9:01, as I think that's Halterwanger who took an especially difficult hit to the ground. And Haddon Township's athletic crew coming out.
How dare you know? How dare you know?
No, we're never letting you from again. You counted about for that other day.
They didn't say anything.
We didn't see him.
Yeah, I was going to say Halterwanger took an especially hard hit on the ground. It looks like his head bounced a little bit on that last play. As we said, Haddon Township's athletic trainer, Courtney Robinson, out there. Halterwanger getting some help. Looks like he's okay, but that is never something that you take lightly, especially in today's modern age. Guys like Tua Tagovailoa, of course, got hit with that again last night. Yeah, rumors, yeah, but it's better to hang them up when you're ahead and not have.
Better enjoy the money while you can remember it.
Exactly.
To the point.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, especially for guys of those calibers like quarterbacks and wide receivers, running backs, got to be careful with those. And especially in the high school football scene, excellent job by these training crews to make sure that they get the utmost of care. Here comes the handoff to Marsh. It was 3rd and 6. The left hash. Haddon Township been burned a whole lot of time, I'll tell you that. But you were saying, David, if Haddon Township keeps on scoring, they might not have to play a whole lot. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad when we saw them a couple weeks ago because there was the window. Now there's no window. We are directly right in front of them, and there is nowhere to hide from those marching band drones. Backed up against the goal line for Gabriel Hill. And he's able to scamper out of it from 10. Although the line of scrimmage wasn't at 13, so that's going to be a loss. That is going to knock them back all the way to the 7. It's going to be 2nd and 15. I don't know what Gabriel Hill was doing there. I mean, line of scrimmage was on the 13, and he rolled out to pass, and he was all the way back in his own end zone. So I don't know there, but they've been going back and forth. Haven Walls is on the sideline now, and now they're going with Gabriel Hill to try to switch things up here late in the 4th with 7:30 remaining in regulation. Let's see what they've got in the books. And off. Offensive line did their job there. Offensive line did a great job there, but it's been relatively inconsistent tonight for the Clippers, and that's something that they've got to work on in the later weeks, especially versus those tougher opponents, is making sure that you get yourself in a position to make those timely blocks, especially in a team that is going to rush 95% of the time. So they got to figure something out. Hill rolling out. He's got a man behind him. He scampers out at the short sideline, but the QB rush is enough for a Clippers first down.
It's a good job there to get positive yards. Look at him trying to throw the ball, but he's on the wrong side of his body there. If you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good observation, David. I think that, he was trying to go for a more creative, unorthodox pass, but you can't do that down by 15. You've got to stay traditional here, and you have to go with what works. It's the old phenomenon of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now the run game seems a little broke. And in a week where they're coming off of a huge 41-point win over Mastery Camden, and in their 4-point loss to Collingswood, they've been up and down, and now they're trying to switch it up again. It's a big hit in the backfield. Hold on, ball is loose, but they're going to say it's incomplete after a big hit to the quarterback, Gabriel Hill.
At first, I thought it could have been a strip sack there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I saw the ball was out, taken out by kicker and defensive lineman. Boy, that is a Group 1. That is a Group 1 job title. Kicker and defensive lineman Kyle Stevens on the coverage there. Second and 10 after the incompletion. Oh, a big hit. No whistles. Still on his feet, and that's going to be a loss of a couple yards there. Just Clayton hasn't gotten any momentum going, and Haddon Township burned off so much time in that last drive, it basically didn't matter. Like now Clayton, even if they score, best case scenario, you might have 4 or 5 minutes left on the clock. It's a matter of being able to make the drive that it matters. They scored early in the second quarter, and then they've got nothing since. So Haddon Township is just, think about it. Every score in this game was in the second quarter. A scoreless third, first, and maybe a fourth. Incomplete.
There's been so much that's going wrong in this game. It could have taken the life out. But they didn't.
They're still fighting.
5:50 to go.
Pass is incomplete, by the way. Broken up by Marsh.
Kickoff, one was a punt. Had an interception.
Yeah, the big part of Haddon Township's success tonight has been the special teams. The fact that they have converted twice on kickoffs to recover their own kick, and not even with an onside kick, just a straight squib. He kind of played it off like, oh, that was a bad kick. I don't know if you saw Jack Stevens. He kind of put his hands over his head like, oh, that was a bad kick. But no, that was certainly intentional. And now we're going to have time called by by John Chamberlain and the Clippers. But if I could award a player of the game to a whole team, Haddon Township professional teams has to have it tonight. We're going to take a quick break. 5:50 left in the fourth quarter. 22-7 Haddon Township. We'll be right back. Coming back for the timeout. Clayton now has 2 timeouts remaining. It's 4th and 9. Hayden Wald is going to let this one fly. It's a home run ball. Oh, a huge hit. Hayden Marsh hit the back. Hayden Marsh. Marsh broke it up. Williams was the intended receiver.
Williams became the defender on that one.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
That is a Haddon Township walk.
Haddon Township will get the ball back, and that basically seals Clayton's fate tonight, unfortunately. As, man, that was a huge hit. I mean, you had people coming together in the air like it was a Renaissance painting.
He actually looks a little shaken up.
Yeah. You talking about Hayden Marsh or Clayton's guy? Because that was, both of them just made a mid-air collision. That was fierce. That was metal.
Hayden Marsh got up and celebrated with that.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Hayden Marsh. He's got a thick skull.
We're not using that. We're not using that.
Oh wow, they're gonna break away on the first play. Touchdown, Haddon Township, and that will be the icer of tonight's game from number 8, Charlie Pund, the junior running back, gets himself into the end zone, and that will take care of business tonight, or at least so far.
Not much has gone.
Crazier things have happened, and they break away on the first play of their drive, 28-7, with a chance to make it 29 or 30 right here. PAT is up on a high launch angle, and it is good. Haddon Township has made every PAT tonight, and Charlie Pund, who just scored the touchdown on the 27-yard rush, now gets his own on the PAT. Wasn't long before we had to take another break, but the new crew certainly milking the products of their success. We'll be right back. 29-7, Haddon Township leads Clayton. Haddon Township on a line drive kick to start the drive. Gets up to the 45.
Elton Baylor.
So Elton Baylor on the return. I want to see this drumline drum in 7/8. I want to see some funky time signatures for these guys. Do a little Euro free jazz, like the Peter Brotzman octet, you know. We need more Euro free jazz in South Jersey high school football. I think that's needed. 29-7 Haddon Township. They have converted every extra point made tonight. score comes in, Audubon 8, Bordentown 7. PVI took care of Gloucester 38-0 with a huge win. Final score, Camden 44, Shawnee 3.
Yeah, we're playing one.
Clayton's looking for a play. John Chamberlain yelling something out. Clock's going to run here. 4:35 remaining. Clayton definitely, like we said, needs some late magic here to even get into the double-digit mark.
Wait, no, we can't do it. We're losing.
Certainly taking their. Oh my gosh! Really? And that's a. Oh no! That was a fundamental failure right there. I mean, there was some kind of miscommunication. John Chamberlain is heated with his players, and maybe for good reason, because I mean they just straight up dropped it. I mean, Josiel Figueroa, who's been pretty good tonight, just straight up dropped the ball. Like the ball was in his hands and it like rolled out. I don't understand that. And now instead of it being 2nd and 2, it's 3rd and long. That's unbelievable. And that's kind of a microcosm for what Clayton has had against them tonight. This one is going to be breakaway for Williams. They're making me swallow my words on every play. Demetrius Williams finally.
That's his best run of the night.
Yeah, that's probably his best, and that will be a first down. With 3:30 left.
I really hope this number.
We haven't seen a lot of traditional football scores in our DWB. Yeah, this one's going to get called back. There is a flag at the 48, right around the line of scrimmage. I mean, think about the scores that we've had earlier this year. 16-0, that's pretty conventional. 30-26, 12-7. Only conventional score we've seen is 21-7 from last Thursday. 30-0, 21-20. We've seen some weird football scores this year. And maybe that's just because of the 2-pointer in there. I don't know. I mean, if that was just a normal PAT, it would be 28-7. We wouldn't think twice about it, but definitely a different scenario. 3rd and very long. 3rd and 14. Clayton is going to look to get back into this one. And maybe get a touchdown to salvage their night. As Williams back on the pitch. That's going to get stopped. Right around 10 yards to go.
Swarmed on the ball.
They've been everywhere. They've really stepped it up here in the 4th quarter. You know, trying to take this game away from Clayton. And you know, that 2nd quarter is what changed everything. A lot of people don't think about the 2nd quarter a lot. They don't usually do too much. But every score was in the 2nd. Scored the 1st, a scoreless 3rd, and one touchdown for the Hawks in the 4th. As if it's going to be flushed up the middle. Who's got the ball? And it looks like it's going to be short. It looks like it's short by about 2 yards. And Haddon Township looks like they're ready to go. Yeah, that'll be a turnover on down. They're short by 2 yards, and Haddon Township feeling pretty good at their quote neutral site. They will improve to 2-0 on the campaign. After winning over Gateway last week, this is their first win of score this year. Clayton will fall to 1-2. And their next game in the 2024 campaign is going to be next week versus Pittman. I'm sorry, Haddon Township will be playing next week. Over to the right side, Hun gets taken. Clayton is home versus Gloucester Catholic next week, Friday the 20th. Haddon Township is on the road at Pittman, also next Friday. with now 90 seconds left in regulation, 29-7. Just need a couple of, Clayton's not even calling their timeouts. They're just going to let this one ride out. The last win for Haddon Township by over 2 possessions was October 7th of last year in a 32-12 win over Holy Cross Prep. So it's been a long time coming, and they have certainly earned it, to say the least. They have taken advantage of some bad Clayton penalties tonight, and their special teams has been nothing short of incredible. A couple of kickoff returns and a couple of kickoff recoveries, along with that punt return, that punt for a first down as well. That's just great. By the way, last time that Haddon Township won a game by more than 2 possessions in the first 2 weeks of the season was September 1st of 2022 in a 33-16 win over Gateway. Third and long. And off immediately gets swarmed up. They take it down. Looks like that'll be it tonight. Clayton to go for another. Clayton's getting ready to meet at the 50. And indeed, they will walk off the field, and Haddon Township will win on their temporary home field. And how about this? The move of all standing. Haddon Township saluting their faithful with a 29-7 win. An excellent student section tonight. And those guys are happy. There you go. Haddon Township improves to 2-0 with a win. Again, their first 2-0 start to a season since 2022. And, I mean, we've said it like a broken record tonight, David, but the special teams made this game. And Haddon Township probably doesn't win by no possessions. I mean, heck, you could make, it's kind of an out there argument, but you could make the argument that they don't win this game if they don't have good special teams. And as we said before, we've discussed this a handful of times, but it's a mixture of good special teams by Haddon Township and poor special teams recovery by Clayton. They didn't execute well when it came to special teams in that one part of the game that discussion. But, you know, look, this game is not amplified in the way that it is without the special teams. And, you know, Shane Alessi did great. A couple of guys like Elgin Baylor did great in the receiving game and in the rushing game. But this game was made by special teams. And Haddon Township did it perfectly tonight. I have not seen a team do so well on special teams and have it highlighted so profusely like Haddon Township did tonight.
We don't see many football games where you think, okay, the special teams won the game.
They did, yeah.
Tonight, they did. And like I said earlier, the point of emphasis in this upcoming week for Clayton is going to be special teams because that took them out of the game.
Definitely killed a lot of momentum. And the fact that not only did they recover 2 kickoffs and recovered a punt, they also almost recovered a kickoff for a touchdown, if you remember that, early in the second half. They were backed up against their end zone and Haddon Township thinking touchdown, but Clayton ended up getting a touchback. They were probably 6 inches away from having that literally be kicking touchdowns like the Jets did in 2015. So, you know, these guys have been resilient, and they had late game heroics last week versus Gateway to get them ahead, and now they didn't need any late game heroics. They did exactly what was asked of them, and they dominated throughout the entire night. You know, look, this was a topsy-turvy game. End of the first, no score. And what do you know, at the end of the half, 22-7. Where did that come from in 12 minutes? These guys worked their butts off, and I'm very excited for Haddon Township, especially as we we said, off to a 2-0 start. They had an above 500 record last year, 2 years ago, 3-7 in 2023. Not the kind of season that you wanted, but Zach Taylor is a young head coach. He's a guy that can definitely get you some wins, and he can get you success as a club, and that's exactly what Haddon Township did tonight. But for Clayton, I don't think there's also a lot of bad things to say besides penalties. And the special teams, of course. The rushing game did what they could. The passing game didn't exactly do much, but we didn't expect much out of them because they almost never passed the ball. They passed the ball 3 times 2 weeks ago versus Collingswood when we were there, and that's because there were 90 seconds left in the fourth quarter and they were down by a score in a game that they eventually lost. So there's a lot to be said about a team that if you can back them up to the point where a team that never passes is forced to pass, you don't see that a lot. And Clayton ended up, not handling that pressure too well. And, losing to Haddon Township was not something they had on their bingo card. I think they came in here pretty confident. But this is a humbling game for Clayton and a statement game for Haddon Township.
Totally agree with you.
It proves a point for Haddon Township. These guys haven't had prolonged success, in a while. And now they're finally starting to get that. It's a young team. These guys have a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Jaden Halterwanger is an amazing part of this team. He was able to produce in receiving and also in passing because he threw that third touchdown in the second quarter for the Hawks. So, there's a lot to be said about a young team that has a lot of potential and is already seeing the fruits of their labors succeeding here tonight. But, when the stats come in, we'll have a player at the game for you. But how about Haddon Township? They take this one 29-7. Our next broadcast will be Saturday at 11 a.m. between the Salem Rams and the Woodbury Thundering Herd from Woodbury High School, of course. Our second of 4 games in a partnership with Woodbury High School. And then next week for 2 football games. Don't have anything scheduled for Saturday, September 21st. But we do have Thursday, September 19th. My mom's 58th birthday, by the way. ACIT and the Red Hawks square off against the Triton Mustangs at 6 o'clock from Triton High School in Runnymede. And then on Friday, September 20th, it's a battle between Camden County and Salem County. The Audubon Green Wave and the Pennsville Eagles square off at 7 o'clock from Pennsville High. From everyone here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our social media coordinators, Brandon DeKagerland and Keely Curran, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Kate LeBlane, and Liam Nolan. My producer, Vincent Folks, my color commentator making his DWB debut out of Seneca High School, David Cohen. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow morning bright and early. Get your coffee, get your bagels, get whatever you need to watch Salem and Woodbury here on DWB. Clayton falls 29-7 to Haddon Township as the Hawks start off 2-0 on the young campaign under the lights from Pennsauken. That'll be all for us tonight, and until we meet again, have a good one, folks.